After the units have been fitted into the access module magazine, we need to fit some cables. So we will begin by fitting the cables to the node processor unit. There are several cables to be connected to the processor unit. This is the user I/O cable, which is used for external alarms such as intruder, fire and other locally decided functions. Each of those two E1 connections has available 4 separate 2 megabit per second traffic ports. These are the traffic data to and from the equipment from the mini-link. This could be supporting a radio base station, a switch or exchange equipment. The V24 port is used by the factory. The Universal Serial Bus port is for local maintenance and installation. This is where we will be connecting the local craft terminal computer. This is the local area network port. This port may be connected to a local network to allow control of the mini-link. This unit is the modem unit. Through this socket it is connected to the outdoor radio unit. The line termination unit is the 155 megabit per second traffic interface to other equipment, for example, towards an optical network. This frame supports up to 4 connection boxes. It is used to distribute traffic from the E1 sockets to the 4 individual 2 megabit per second data sockets. You must also remember that the sockets on here are all connections that are sensitive to static electricity. So before you begin the cabling, fit the anti-static wrist strap and connect it to the magazine. Connect the external alarm cable to the user I/O socket. One important point is that these connectors are polarized and they can only be inserted one way around. Do not ever use force. Secure the connector by tightening the 2 screws. Next we have to connect a cable between an E1 port and the connection box. The cable is preformed, it's already been terminated, and we should route it over this bar, down the side and bring it into the unit from the right. In that way, if any of the unit has to be changed, we do not need to disturb this. Our second E1 connector is not used. The USB port is for local maintenance. If required, connect an Ethernet cable, but this is not required in our installation. The next card we have to connect is the line termination unit. RX. Connect the synchronous transport module network cables. These could be either optical or electrical. In our case, we only have these electrical cables. Cables must never be bent more than is specified by the makers. See the relevant manuals for more information about bend radius. Now that the signal cables are fitted, we can connect power to the power filter unit here. The first step is to switch on the power source. And then confirm that the power voltage and polarity is correct. It should be about 48 volts DC. .4. Okay. Note that the negative or minus terminal is the one closest to the cable entry. If it's otherwise, then it is wrong. Assuming the voltage is correct, switch off the power before connecting the cable. This connector was already fitted to the cable, but if you need detailed information about how to do this, then click the Details button. Okay, now I'm going to switch on the power supply source. Lamps, perfect. When all cables have been installed, they need to be marked with identification labels. All cables should be marked using the identification kits that came with the cable. Identify the cable by writing in the yellow part of the tape and attaching it to the tag. Attach the transparent part around the tag and then fit the tag to the cable. Also, you may have to attach tags at both ends of the cable. When all the cables are connected and identified, they must be tidied up. Bind the cables to the cable support anchor points here on the right hand side of the magazine. Also ensure that all cables are routed straight to the right hand side. This will make maintenance work in the future much easier. Well, that completes the internal cabling. We have assembled the magazine and we have connected the cables and turned on the power. We finished by marking the cables and tidying them. The next step is initial setup.